Welcome to the Smart Science measurement video about inelastic collisions with different mass. So here we've got a collision between two objects that stick together and the two objects have different masses. What's going to happen with this collision? You're on the Explore page, which means you've already finished your introduction, your warm-up questions, and now we've got a brief description of the lab just showing what it looks like, what the equipment is, and then a brief guideline of how to measure from this lab. In this case, you're going to click on the right side of the incoming glider in each image. So you're going to see that glider sliding along that air track with zero friction, and then you're going to click to measure position and time. How does the product of mass and velocity change after an inelastic collision? So something you're going to have to look at in this lab when you do your analysis in the lab report, what was the mass of each of the gliders that were colliding? And you're going to have to calculate the speed of those gliders based on the data on your graph and your data table. So first things first, let's go ahead and grab a hypothesis we'd like to test, whether you want to click on that or if you can write your own in a more advanced class. I'm just going to go ahead and click one. Okay, you can see that shows up in my hypothesis box. And then we've got a number of different collisions. Notice some of them do have the same mass and then some of them have different masses. So if I pick, say, this one, 150 grams collides with 450 grams, I can watch that video. Notice the inelastic collision, they stick together and then they move away from the collision. So when I do this, we're just going to click on that incoming glider on its right side. And as you click, it's going to move forward about 1/10 of a second or 100 milliseconds. And eventually you're going to get to this point where the two gliders have collided and stuck and start moving away. At that point, you're going to have a change in something, and that's what you need to try to figure out. What is changing? What has changed in this collision? And once you save that graph, you'll be able to learn a little more about it because it goes up into your menu right here. You can look at it in color. You can keep measuring, right? Save it again. Whatever you need to get a nice picture of what happens before and after the collision and do your calculations. So what happens to the product of mass and velocity for the total set of objects here in the Inelastic Collision Lab? That's what you're going to find out in this Smart Science Inelastic Collision and Mass Lab.